I'm live again. Got a new hat. Got my other Seattle Mariners hat. And I'm gonna put this further away. Now, I wanted to discuss the part about the Texas Rangers. Because the current Texas Rangers used to be the Washington Senators, the expansion team. Those who are coming in, this is my part 2 of baseball and geography, and baseball, Go West Baseball, part 2. I'm doing a part 2 because my last stream, I had to cut it short. But the Texas Rangers are the second team to go to Texas. I mean, it's in the name, and it's named for the law enforcement agency that's there, the Texas Rangers. More than a baseball team, it's a law enforcement agency out there, so don't get them mixed up. But the Texas Rangers moved from Washington, D.C. They moved westward, tapping into a growing market, growing population. Cities that were growing and hadn't yet had baseball yet. And it's representing sort of that shift in the population towards the Sunbelt region. You're having you're having the population go west, and now you're having the population go southwest and south. And it's sort of like baseball is starting to hit several corners of the United States of America. And the Texas Rangers are part of that. And then in 1977, the Pacific Northwest and Canada get the baseball market again. In addition to the Montreal Expos, who were still in Canada at the time, the city of Toronto would get a baseball team. And from what I've read, Toronto has grown larger. There's been a lot of annexation, amalgamation, communities being brought in, the area being expanded. Toronto's becoming the large city in Canada. I mean, it's been one of the largest cities in Canada always, but now it's the largest city in Canada. Montreal has a baseball team. Now Toronto has a baseball team. The Toronto Blue Jays would get an expansion team, and the city of Seattle, which had lost baseball before, gets baseball again. Yes, they get the Seattle Mariners, who are currently there now. That represents the second attempt to go into the Pacific Northwest market. And with Seattle, you're having the growth of the population there. It represents, that shift of baseball starting in the Northeast U.S. and shifting west, shifting south. And then you have baseball comes to the Rocky Mountain time zone. Fittingly, that baseball team in the Rocky Mountain time zone would be called the Rockies, the Colorado Rockies of Denver. Denver gets a baseball team, the Colorado Rockies, representing the progressively growing population around the Denver area, around the Front Range region, Denver, Colorado Springs, Greeley, Fort Collins, Boulder, that area of Colorado. More and more people want to move there. More and more people want place where they, it's being touted for, the mountains, the beauty, the clean air. Well, cleaner than some cities, but, you get pollution in pretty much most major cities. But, Denver gets a team in 1993, and they have a team today, the Colorado Rockies. The Miami Marlins would start out as the Florida Marlins. This represents Major League Baseball's first ascent into Florida market. Florida had always been a growing state since, you had people from up north going down to Florida for the winter, but now you had people coming from all over the world going into Miami. And now you got the population growth, and now you have a baseball team. And one interesting thing about Florida, well, not Florida, but Miami, when they got the baseball team, the city of Miami had only officially been a city for like barely 100 years. So it was a young city when it got it. And it sort of represents that fast growth that Miami was having. And the fact that a lot of people continue to move there. Next, St. Petersburg, Florida, and Phoenix, Arizona. I want to start with the St. Petersburg story first because so many baseball teams that have wanted to get out of their nasty leases in their stadiums have used the St. Petersburg card. The Chicago White Sox have tried it. The Seattle Mariners have tried it. The San Francisco Giants have pulled that card. Everybody points to St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg area. Play, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and then you've got the other suburbs like Clearwater, you've got Town and Country, you've got Bradenton, you've got Brandon, Florida, Davie, you've got all these suburbs around the Tampa Bay region. But you've got this growing population in the Tampa Bay area. And people, they were like the LA market in football. Oh yeah, they were like that market. Well, actually Los Angeles had football before. They had the Rams and the Raiders, and then both teams left. And now the Rams are back, and now the Chargers went up there too. If anything, I would say if you wanted to compare an LA football market to anything in baseball, I would say Washington, D.C. Because they lost baseball twice, only to get it back again. I would compare D.C. Now, Tampa Bay was always that untapped market. Oh, man. But yeah, it was that.
Hi, I'm Bixby. It's great to meet you.
Glad you find it interesting. But that Tampa Bay area, it's like everybody played that card, and in 1998 they got the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Now they're just the Tampa Bay Rays. They took the devil out of the name. This camera keeps falling.